there guys, welcome back to another video here on Boreal Bushcraft Canada. It was just the other day that one of our friends and members, Dave, he posted a question on our Facebook page, group actually, in regards to ferro rods and where the best place to purchase them it would be. And the amount of response that we got was amazing. We must have had over 70, I don't know, I stopped counting at around 50, I think, 60 comments and answers and what have you with respect to that subject. So I thought it would be a good idea to throw my 10 cents in. And what I did for the past couple of days, I, went around the internet, looking at different videos of people who are making, some bashing one ferro rod, making the other one look like it's better than this one, better than that one, I'm not here to bash anybody. I don't mean any disrespect to anybody else who's doing videos out there. What I felt I have to do for my viewers and for my members is do this video to try to shed some light on ferro rods. I ain't no expert, okay? I just buy stuff, I go out in the woods, I try them out, and I relay that information to the best of my ability to you guys out there. In the end, you're the boss, you're going to make the decision, you're going to go out and purchase whatever you want at whatever price point you want. You are going to make the final decision. So, what we know about ferro rods is they're a composition of different metals. Some have more magnesium in them than others. Some are softer, some are harder, some are bigger, some are smaller, some are cheap, some are expensive, some are not even worth the money you're going to pay for them. So the reason we carry a ferro rod with us is to facilitate starting a fire. The most important thing that you got to keep in the back of your mind is you have to have the proper bundle prepared in order for a ferro rod to work properly. Hence, if you go out there and you have a sloppy pile of tinder, you're going to have a harder time to light that fire, and it's just going to make your life a lot more difficult, What I say is you got to have a ferro rod that's a certain size so that you can manipulate it, whether you're wearing a pair of gloves or mitts or you're working with your bare hands. Now that's very important, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that. A big ferro rod, something of like maybe 4 or 5 inches by ½ inch in diameter, will be a hell of a lot easier to use and strike than a little guy that's maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches by maybe, I don't know, a quarter or what have you. So now that we've said all that, I'm not going to go into the different compositions that go into making ferro rods or different companies. What I'm going to do is prove to you, or at least try to prove to you, that whether you carry a $5 ferro rod or a $15 ferro rod, chances are you'll be able to start a fire if you have the proper tinder laid out and you fluffed it up, okay? A ferro rod is supposed to work even when it's wet. Now, we know that our biggest enemy when it comes to fire is water. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these ferro rods, I'm going to put them in water. Let me use this one. Use all of them. They're all going to go into the water. And I'm going to let them sit there. No, not this one. This is new. I'm not going to use it new. Use the older one. I'll let them sit in the water there for, I don't know, let's say 15 minutes. And we're going to take these babies, we're going to go outside and we're going to see if we can light a fire. Okay? Or at least if we can throw some sparks with them. And from there, you can decide. Okay, so the first thing that I want to demonstrate, guys, is we want to see how much spark we get from one ferro rod compared to the next. So like I said before, all these rods, they were sitting in water for, I don't know, I said 15 minutes, but I'd have to say it's closer to maybe half an hour. Now, depending what you use to strike the ferro rod will make a big difference. Most ferro rods come with these little gizmos here. Some of them are made from old hacksaws and that type of material, and they have a pretty sharp 90-degree spine. Therefore, makes you know, striking your the rods here a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and try this little, I would say it's what, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inch by maybe 1/4 of an inch thick ferro rod that goes for about, I don't know, $2, $3, and see what we get. Now, you see, there is spark coming off. Okay, good. But what I like to use is my good old Opinel for striking. It really, the Opinel really works good if you can ever get to open it, because they are made. Here we go. Man, I'm going blind. Jeez. Okay, here we are. Trusted Opinel. I love this knife. Now the spine on this thing here is crazy. Let's try it. So, as you can see, little rod, it throws a pretty good amount of sparks. Okay, let's try this other gizmo here. I'm not going to give you the name of this one. Oops. This rod here, I think I paid something like 15 or 20 bucks for it, and it came with this little sucker right over here. So let's see what this one here does. Oh! I just broke my Opinel. Nice job, Andy. Beautiful. Ain't so trusted anymore, eh? Okay, guys, let's go back to this little thing here. I got more than where that one came from. So as you can see, this one also throws a pretty decent amount of sparks, even when wet. $2 versus 15 or 20, both working okay. Now, let's try this baby right over here. This one here, this came with a knife that I purchased. Okay, let's see how this one here works. Yeah, it's a little harder because it's harder material. This one here has less magnesium in it, so it's a little harder to strike. But you can light a fire with this for sure. Next, I want to try the Big Mama. This is our Big Mama. It's a magnesium rod and ferro rod combo. So what you usually have to do is scrape a little bit of magnesium. You know, I did another video on this one here. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm just, you know, see what happens. And so, as you can see, it throws sparks, but I'm having a little difficulty because this one, the Big Mama, is designed to work with magnesium scrapings. Okay, but I get a spark. Not a crazy amount of sparks, but I get a spark, and I'm pretty sure I can light tinder bundle with this. Next, Let's try the Big Bertha here. So let's try the Big Bertha with the Wisdom. As you can see, Big Bertha is working fine. It throws a decent amount of sparks, and like I said before, I don't like bashing, but you know, I watched a video before where this guy is comparing something similar to this thing here versus another brand that goes for about 40 bucks, and he's trying to throw sparks from 4 feet away. Well, buddy, if you got to be 4 feet away from your Tinder bundle to throw sparks, you know, well, good luck to you. You know, what you use to strike makes a big deal, okay? Plays a big role. And whatever you're going to be throwing on them sparks on, okay? So here's the Big Bertha again. Okay, that answer your question, guys? Let's go to the Big Mama. This is our Big Mama right here. She's throwing good sparks, but I don't have the same amount of area as I do with a Big Bertha. Big Bertha, I got like a full, it's a 5-inch rod, but I got a full 4 inches because I got some duct tape around it, and I can get more scraping surface area that I scrape, and it'll give me more sparks. Let's go to the El Cheapos. These little things here, they're good, man. You know, you keep them on your EDC, you know, your Altoids tin. They're always handy, and they don't take up too much room. Let's see. Yeah, she works as well as the other ones, but that's not because of what it's made out of. It's because it's so friggin' small, you can't get a good grasp of it. I'm only scraping about 1 inch. You see, I'm holding it here, all right, and I'm only scraping about 1 inch. So how can you possibly get a decent spark out of it? It's hard. That's why size matters, guys. Let's try this guy here. See that? And last but not least, this little ferro rod here, I got it with a knife, and it works fine, man. So let's try something. I have a little bit of birch bark here. I'm just gonna scrape it a bit. Not gonna be too fancy about it. Let's see what we can do with this. Big Bertha. There you go. One scrape. And that's all it took. The Big Mama. Oh, sorry. There you go. One scrape. That's all she wrote. $15 job. Okay. ¿Qué pasa? There she goes. Yeah. Well, I guess I like giving it a chance. Let's try it here. Not going to give up yet. $2 job. So, I hope this answered your questions. Again, I'm so sorry, little Opinel. I broke the sucker, and I feel bad because I had this Opinel for maybe 15 years. I just put a little too much pressure on the wrong side, and I snapped it. Oh well, shit happens. Big Bertha, guys. I just love this baby. Works the first time, works every time. See you guys on the next vid.